I think that the University of Chicago is a kind of hot soup for a variety of disciplines and arts in ways that maybe the university itself hadn't quite realized.
The history of the arts are a fascinating example of that history sometimes punishes and sometimes does not punish people who come late. It really wasn't until after the First World War when we began to find a concerted effort to create a modern Department of Art and a modern Department of Music. In a way, the men and women who came to be members of these departments didn't have to go through all the Sturm drawing of the early university, and that it pays to be patient. Finally, I think there's a kind of an historic justice that finally, at the end of the last century, the beginning of the new century, that we're now going to have a building that will be devoted to the practice and study of the arts.
I would say that that thought, that what interests my colleagues and interests me and interests our students, can be what we focus on, rather than, say, policing disciplinary boundaries. That seems like something tremendously exciting.
What we're talking about is crossing the boundaries of the traditional departments.
It's not a matter of bringing two things together, it's a matter of bringing together many different things, and simply defining what those things might be is a large part of the project.
I would say nothing, except perhaps the amount of gristle you have here, imprints the University of Chicago the way that kind of crossing of boundaries does.
If the work took you someplace, then you simply followed it wherever it took you.
Where it would be terrific to have artists come in here and use the technology to explore some of the aspects that they are interested in. You know, in the process of this, we then could learn about their way of approaching subjects, hopefully in ways that we haven't really thought about before.
You don't collaborate to achieve a goal, you collaborate on questioning the character of goals. And then, at the end of the day, you still hopefully achieve some sort of goal.
The work is completely tied to the investigation. It's very difficult to separate that experience, so the scholarship is the practice.
So it's both a culture, I think, of acceptance and a spirit of contestation.
There is a tremendous sense of intellectual curiosity and passion on the part of both students and faculty.
Our purpose is actually to be self-conscious about the relationship between praxis and the general life of the mind.
When they really understand that artistic thinking frees them from data and it allows them to think about change and the future in a very different way, I think it's actually quite empowering.
I think our students are so creative that they'll invent the ways in which the Logan Center will be made new or will make art anew.
All of these different kinds of inquiries will have a place in which they can be in proximity, and proximity helps collaboration.
Which has to be, just larger and more dynamic and more contemporary.
The interactions won't be scripted. The interactions will take place and will emerge in ways that we can't predict.
My sense is it will, in a sense, turn the lights up a bit.
So I think there's something like a critical mass theory, but it's more like a critical proximity.
And we can be at the forefront of some new wave of working together right here at Chicago.